Action.
In the song Distant Light, a man asks his buddy for directions, to which his buddy responds, "Follow the distant light, and although you will never near it, you can travel on forever and never be back here." This song really captures how our culture views truth and meaning, that it's the journey looking for truth that changes you. But truth itself, you'll never experience it. In our story today, Pilate is also on this journey, looking for truth, when he encounters the one who is truth, who is meaning. And Pilate has the choice of how he's going to respond to this one. And the question for us today is the same. How will you respond to the one who is truth, who is meaning? Pilate went back into the governor's residence, summoned Jesus, and said, "Are you the king of the Jews?"
Are you saying this of your own initiative, or have others told you about me?
I'm not a Jew, am I? Your own people and your chief priests handed you over to me. What have you done?
My kingdom is not from this world. If my kingdom were from this world, my servants would be fighting to keep me from being handed over to the Jewish authorities. But as it is, my kingdom is not from here.
So you're a king.
You say that I'm a king. For this reason I was born, and for this reason I came into this world, to testify to the truth. Everyone who belongs to the truth listens to my voice.
What is truth? When he had said this, he went back outside to the Jewish leaders and announced, "I find no basis for accusation against him, but it is your custom that I release for you one prisoner at the Passover. So, should I release for you the king of the Jews?"
Then they shouted back, "Not this man, but Barabbas." Now Barabbas was a revolutionary.
Then Pilate took Jesus and had him flogged severely. The soldiers braided a crown of thorns, put it on his head. They went up to him again and again and said, "Hail, hail, King of the Jews!" And they struck him in the face repeatedly. Then Pilate went back out to the Jewish leaders and said, "Look, I am bringing him out to you, so that you may know I find no basis for accusation against him." So Jesus came outside, wearing the crown of thorns and a purple robe, and Pilate said, "Look, here is your man."
When the chief priests and their officers saw him, they shouted out, "Crucify him! Crucify him!"
"You take him and crucify him. Certainly I find no basis for accusation against him."
"We have a law, and according to our law he ought to die, because he claimed to be the Son of God."
When Pilate heard this, he was more afraid than ever. And he went back inside the governor's residence and said to Jesus, "Where do you come from?" But Jesus gave him no answer. So Pilate said, "Do you refuse to speak to me? Do you not know that I have the authority to crucify you and to release you?"
You would have no authority over me at all unless it was given to you from above. Therefore, the one who handed me over to you is guilty of greater sin. From this point on, Pilate tried to release him. But the Jewish leader shouted back, "If you release this man, you are no friend of Caesar. Anyone who claims to be a king opposes Caesar." When Pilate heard these words, he took Jesus outside and sat down on the judgment seat in the place called the Stone Pavement, Gabbatha in Aramaic. Now it was the day of preparation for the Passover, about noon.
Then Pilate said to the Jewish leaders, "Look, here is your king."
Then they shouted back, "Away with him! Away with him! Crucify him!"
"Shall I crucify your king?"
The high priest replied, "We have no king except Caesar."
Then Pilate handed him over to be crucified.
Okay, good.